day everyone and welcome back to this episode. My name is Mariette, also known as the Boervrou, and I have the Crafty Stitches podcast on YouTube. And welcome to this episode where we are going to talk about all of the projects that we make with our leftover yarns and all the beautiful things that you can actually make with it. So if this is your first time, welcome, and Leanie is here with me. We do this every month, well, almost every month. And she can introduce herself and then we can start.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Leanie. I've got the YouTube channel Independent Yarn Crafts. Oh, I'm not used to this anymore.
We are rusty.
And the podcast Pick Up Stitches. I'm really bad at this.
I just realized that I also didn't say the date, but does it really matter? Because this will only go up at the end of the month. So it's August 2023. I think that's
it's the beginning of August. It is the 7th.
The 7th. Okay, but anyway.
We'll explain now what has been happening and what's going to happen and why on earth we are doing it like this month. But yeah.
Anyway, at least we are here.
We are here.
So, yes. I must just focus and see where I am at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, so today we are recording at your house.
Yes.
I think last recording we did at my house, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I think so.
But anyway, it's time. It's been done.
It's good. So life and why you haven't seen us last month and why we are doing things a little bit different this month is because my work was a nightmare the last couple of weeks, up to such a point where I couldn't really plan my weekends because we were working weekends, we were working all hours of the day. It was crazy. Me and Mariette talk every day, and some days I told her what time at night we're still busy, but anyway.
But
we are here. I am on
yes.
leave.
Luckily now you are on leave.
I am on leave.
But it hasn't been only your fault, because for me it was basically the same. I mean, sometimes you were saying, well, at least if you feel better, I'm also still awake at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. So
yeah.
So and there was just not enough hours in a month basically to do all the things. So I mean, you would expect that a lot has happened, but it didn't really. No. Also not for me. So.
And we are doing this very early in the month to only publish the last Sunday of August.
Yes.
But then I'm going to visit Peter's daughter and our grandchildren in the Netherlands. And we're only coming back on the 1st of September, which makes it a little bit difficult to plan live events. Yes. While we are doing the pre-recording. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yes, that's it. So that's the best plan we could make, even because we skipped now the previous month, but at least we now have something
month
to.
We now we're in
this
August,
is August,
so we skipped July.
Yes, but it's a good thing, because I don't know how much progress I would have had from the live to today.
You're gonna see just now how little.
I mean, you understand. So if we have this little progress, it would have been a little bit of a shock.
Yeah.
To see how little we could do in a week.
That's true.
So I think it all worked out for the best.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. Anyway, and then by you? You said you were busy. Anything exciting happening?
Oh, no, not really. It's just all the things, There's always something that you need to do and take care of, and yeah. Life has been a little bit overwhelming the last month. I don't know.
But you got 1 or 2 new patterns out since the last time we chatted.
Yes, I did, definitely. And I mean, I've worked on things that I have to rip out completely. But anyway. But yeah, I don't know. Life has just been so busy, and yeah, I felt very overwhelmed the last week, I think. And I just decided I have to slow down completely. So I just dropped a lot of things and just decided to start at the side and just start doing things thing for thing and try to monotask forgotten skill of monotasking, because I will do something and then I can't remember, did I do it now? My husband laughed himself almost to death last week because I was cleaning the house. He wasn't there. He was away for a job. I was cleaning the house and I vacuumed the floors and I washed the floors, and I was sitting, when he came back, we sat and we drank coffee, and I'm like, oh, I washed the floor of the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, did I now do it? I couldn't remember if I really did it or didn't do it. So what happened? We had to go back and do it again because I couldn't remember.
You couldn't remember. Oh my
So
God.
I decided now I have to slow down and just take a step back and try to just relax.
Yeah.
Because my mind is racing and I can't remember what I did and what I didn't. So I think it's a good thing to sometimes just slow down.
Yeah, no, true.
So yeah. Anyway. So
And
that's,
then I love your latest ranunculus. It looks
thank
stunning.
you.
Well
Yes.
done.
It is surprisingly warm.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with it. It is the, if I'm going to remember this now correctly, it's Yama Yarns, Yarn Art and something design. I think the label that I have might be a little bit outdated, but anyway, if you go and look on Instagram, it's Yama Yarn Crafts or something like that. So that's the yarn. It's a singles, and as I said earlier, I'm surprised that it does pull a little bit, but I'm surprised that the singles pull so little. I thought it's going to be worse, but it's surprisingly warm. So I'm very impressed. I love it. I'm sure we have seen yours on on the episode before, but yeah, it's still beautiful.
Still
But
hasn't
it's
been washed.
a little bit matchy with the yellows.
Well, I'm a little bit more pink, but there's some yellow.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh. All right. So
we're gonna get into the projects.
we can get into the projects, and today you have the honor of going first.
Yay! Because this is how I knit. In case people, we'll go to the projects now. So the one day I went to the stoepmark and I was knitting like I always knit, and the one lady told me, "Do you not get stiff? Because this is how I knit. I don't sit and knit elegantly like." I'm
You're
one of
like-
those people. I'm yet to learn how to knit elegantly. Anyway, I've got a finished object, which I started a few weeks ago, and the reason it went so quick is because out of necessity, and it is a laptop sleeve. So I've got my laptop in here.
I'm gonna try and hide my face. It's in focus.
Yeah, so it's just a very, very simple single crochet sleeve for my laptop. I made it with double knit cotton yarns, a variety of cottons. There's some Moya in, some yellow cottage yarns.
I see this one, yes.
Yes.
And that one, I guess. I'm not sure, but I know this one. This.
Yeah, this is also yellow cottage, the pink yellow cottage. This is Moya, so a lot of it is the leftover from the, what was the blanket's name?
I'm also now thinking about it. It's a beautiful blanket. It was a mystery crochet from Moya, was it not?
Yes.
We will link it down below for you if you can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put, I'm going to edit this so I can put it on the screen.
Okay,
if
so
you
it was
remember.
still yarns that was left over from that, and it is very stiff. You'll feel, eh?
Yeah, but that's
and
what
that's
you
for
need.
that's the reason.
It's
So
nice
I did
and dense,
double
basically.
knit with 3mm hook,
Crochet hook. Very
and
nice.
I couldn't. I mean, if you really sit down and you do this, you could do it in a couple of days, but it was killing my hands a bit with the 3mm.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Like amigurumi type of dense stitches.
Yeah. So
But you said you did it out of necessity. Maybe my ear wandered. Just explain a little bit what
okay.
you want to do.
So we are going to the Netherlands for 2 and a bit weeks. I can't keep up, but we are doing it with backpacks. So I'm gonna have a backpack and Peter is gonna have a backpack. So I just want to be able to protect my laptop a little bit,
Yes.
so that
And not have extra bulk. Like a laptop bag inside a backpack.
correct. Correct.
Yes.
And the backpacks that we are taking does not, or that we are taking, my verbs and tenses here, or they don't really have pouches for laptops. So yeah,
So this is a very nice
I have to make
idea.
a plan. Yeah.
But I like this idea a lot because, you know, I've been battling a little bit with the bank and my computer. And that's always a problem for me, taking a laptop bag over my shoulder into a mall, going to a bank. You know, if you've got a nice big bag and you've got this laptop in a sleeve, it can't get hurt and you can just pop it over your shoulder and nobody will ever know you have a laptop with you.
No, they won't.
So that is very nice. I like it a lot.
So that's my finished object and made out of little bits of scrappy cotton yarn.
Very nice. Lovely
Happiness.
leftover project.
I have not even created the project page for it. I don't think I've updated my Ravelry in a month and a half. Oops. I'll work on it, I promise. I've got time this week. I'll do it.
But that's very nice. I like
Thank
it a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I do not have any finished objects. I could have if I focused correctly, but yes. I actually put the dog on my sewing room table and fitted the little jacket that I made for her, and I saw that I made a mistake. So now I must first rip back a little bit before I can finish it. But anyway, so I'm just going to quickly show it. Didn't really change, except for I worked away the ends. And I don't think you've ever saw it in person. Did you?
Yes.
You did.
But it was in the beginning phases when it was just past the neck.
Okay. So yes.
No, it was about just before the armholes the last time we recorded at your house.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright. Yes. So don't worry about the yarn. So this is the little jacket. And then I've finished it to the point that I added a little bit of short rows there. But I made a mistake. I stopped 4 stitches before the right point. So my short rows is 4 stitches too short.
And so the short rows is now going to make just a little bit of something.
Yeah, it's just the green. Just the green, as you can see there. The green starts just there. And then just the green goes in a little bit of short rows with a rounded edge. I don't know if that's visible. I hope so. Like that. Anyway, you see, so what happened is I placed my marker in the wrong spot. That should have been there.
Okay.
So it's not much. It's just that little bit. But it's just enough to annoy me if I look at the dog and the green part goes past the leg and the other part does not.
Yes.
So anyway. So I'm just going to frog
so
back
how
this 3 rows.
So how much longer is it still going to be?
Not much. Just the ribbing.
Okay.
So this is the finished length. I just want to fix the short rows. And then I'm just adding this ribbing. The ribbing is going to be more or less the same width.
Okay.
Is that width, length? Whatever.
I'm trying to picture Fluffy now in my mind. Is this not too long at the bottom? I'm thinking about when it's time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no, she's fine because I mean she's a girl.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem. And the other thing is it's nice and there's not much positive ease. So this happens a little bit and then it pulls up also a little bit.
Okay.
But this is just like right in front of her. I don't know, what is that? The leg?
I don't know.
Hip?
I don't know.
But this doesn't go to her tail exactly. It's going to be about the same width as the stripes, shorter. But anyway, this is a little bit long. I have been folding it up triple. But yes, she looks very cute.
Nice. And so now it looks a little bit shorter.
Already?
Yeah, because
this makes you look like she's...
it looks big.
She's got a long body, but not that long.
Yeah.
You were worried about me for a minute.
Yeah.
No. So, yes. I must commit to this to get it finished till next time.
Yeah. And it's been cold the last couple of nights.
Yeah, especially in the evenings because she doesn't wear her jackets going to bed because they're natural burrowers. They always want to go into things. Yes. And I find that when she's got a jacket on, she can't get into bed because the blankets and the jacket what is it called? It gets stuck to each other. And when she tries to get out of the bed, she can't get out of the blankets, and the blankets goes with her.
So it creates, it's that friction effect.
Yes, yes. So she actually only wears the jackets when we go for walks outside when it's cold. That's why I wanted this big collar, because she is, you just look at her and she's cold. Because I mean, in summertime she sleeps under 3 blankets.
Yeah.
So yes, so I take it off when she goes into bed. But anyway, she likes the jacket, so we shall see when I get it done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
So, you have more works in progress, do you?
Yeah, but
Not
it's
really.
shocking. It's a month and a bit, and I did nothing on the blanket behind me. Nothing. This one got 2 blocks.
Well, it's 2 more than mine.
So this is my Cozy Memories blanket. The pattern is by Kemper Ray. I don't know if do you say the W? I'm not sure. And these 2 blocks are the only 2 that I added this month. So I'm busy trying to just get the direction of the
Yes, you said you were
decreases.
changing,
Yes.
so that it
I just
goes
want
like
to get that
sunshine rays.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
See, at least one. You see, when we did this last time, I was still focusing.
Yeah, you were listening. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, no. Yeah, but that is beautiful. I'm
you.
really glad that you actually decided to keep on going. It's very pretty.
It is going to be worth it at the end. How does that saying go? Nothing that's worth it is ever easy.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's something
Good things
about that.
takes time.
Exactly.
That type of idea. Yes.
I put a thingy in my fingernail now.
Oh,
Okay.
shame.
That's okay.
And you're doing that on a 2.5 millimeter needle,
Yes,
right?
2.5 circular needle. Yeah.
Okay. So I have done nothing on this blanket,
Okay.
but I brought it because I got a question the other day on Instagram from someone, and I thought I will show what I actually mean and a tip maybe. But now you must just keep in mind that all of these little tails with the short ends at the back is all weaved in, ready for blocking, because I don't want to snip them off too short. And the long tails is where I'm still going to add blocks. So this is the Brioche Memories. I'm not exactly sure. The designer's name is RAVELRY. But all the projects will be linked down below. So if you're interested, you can check that out. So this is basically brioche mitered squares. So it's the brioche version of that Cozy Memories. But I wanted to give people a tip because I've been battling with this a lot when I was making this blanket. Or maybe 2 tips. The first one is I do my I-cord too tightly. So you'll see on this first one, it looks very small compared to the rest. And there's not much.
I see, yeah. I see.
So the one thing for me is I must focus to not do my I-cord when I start the block too tightly. And then the second thing is the thing, where do you pick up these next stitches? Because I think in the pattern it talks about the twisted stitch or something on the side. So if you have the pattern, you'll understand that. But what I went to do is while I'm busy making the block, I actually mark my last stitch so that I can see where I actually have to pick up my next block. So all of my little blocks have these little stitch markers in a stitch.
Sorry?
Oh, that's fine. So everywhere where I need to still pick up, I mark my stitch where I'm going to pick up my next block, because that makes it easier for me, because every time I come back to this, I'm like, where am I supposed to pick up? Because this stitch where you have to pick up basically sits at the back. It's not on the side, because...
Yeah, but you got me confused now. Slow down. So, when we start a new block,
Yes.
You first do an I-cord.
Yes. It's a lot like the corner to corner join as you go blocks. So some, wherever you start with the I-cord and then you add the I-cord on the side, or you start here and do an I-cord. depending on where you now pick up. So like,
if I were to do this one in this corner now,
you're gonna do I-cord picking up there and picking up here.
and then you close.
And then you close like that.
Okay.
But now the trick is, where do you pick up the stitches? Because now if you pick up stitches on a normal knit stitch, you have an idea where the 2 loops is where your needle goes in to pick up. So if you look at this, I never know where to pick up the stitch, because the stitch where you have to pick up goes to the back in the rolling action. You see that?
Okay, so the point
of the matter is, when you do this blanket, while you do the block,
yes,
mark your first and your last stitch somewhere while working this block, to keep the space so that you know where to pick up your next.
It's not
stitches.
a matter of it being the 10th stitch.
No.
It's a matter of this stitch of the I-cord, the row of the I-cord.
Yes, basically that.
Okay.
So I just find it very helpful to actually mark the stitch while I'm making this specific block. I'll mark my last stitch somewhere, so that I know that is the row of stitches where I'm going to pick up. Because I got myself so confused with this thing. Once I had to repeat the block 4 times because I couldn't find the right space. Because then I'm looking, how many brioche little stitches do I have? Yes. Now I've got 7, now I've got 8.
And it will change the effect of the blanket if you change. You won't have these nice
these pronounced little ridges of
ridges
of the brioche goes away. If you now, for instance, pick up in this stitch because you thought maybe it's that one, then it's a mess. Okay. So my best tip is, while you are working the block, mark the first and the last stitch of your block that you're currently working, so that you know when you come back to this block, that's where you have to pick up.
Yes.
And it is a little bit skew because this side has I-cord and this side does not yet. Yeah. But when you finish the blanket, your last block's instructions have that instructions to do the I-cord. So I'm sure that's going to pull it a little bit better. And blocking, of course, is a wonderful thing.
But that's very beautiful.
That was now a very, very long explanation.
But I understand now.
Now I
understand a bit better.
So, at the end of the day, all of that to say, just mark the stitch, the last stitch, because especially here when you have just a few stitches left, I get so confused if I don't know which row to pick up in. And it's the pattern is actually very nice. It's got a lot of pages and it's got instructions for every single block and a blanket layout and everything. So it is all there. It's just sometimes something just doesn't want to click in your brain just reading words.
So was that in the pattern?
It doesn't say to mark the last stitch. Okay. So, not that she had to say that, but I just find it, for me, for the way I do things, that's a little bit easier.
And it's a painful pattern.
Yes, because I put this down, and then sometimes I don't work on it for a month, and then I can't remember. And that's the problem.
Yes.
Maybe if you sit down and you go do this, and you have all the leftovers and just do the whole blanket, you won't forget. But I do too many things in between.
It makes sense.
Most of the time I'm working on 3 designs at once and all the other things that everybody sees. So it's a bit busy. I can't remember exactly. You know what? And when you actually do it again, you're like, oh yes, it was that. But in that moment, I couldn't remember. But anyway. It's like that trick. Is it Kay that she does something else to know which stitch to pick up? That type of thing.
I was actually, because I was thinking, it's a painful pattern. But maybe you could just make a small tutorial to explain a little bit more and to show maybe exactly how you do it. Just as a helpful for other people that might do it. Because that's what Kay did for the knitted squares for this Cozy Memories. So basically her tip is just to slip the stitches.
The last stitch of the row.
So the first stitch you slip every time. So every time you turn you slip the stitch. Just so that you can see nicer. I don't know if people will be able to see it. I don't know. We're taking a chance here now. It just makes it easier to see, and you will see it's always the amount of stitches you want to pick up that you have these nice defined stitches.
You know what, that makes me think of, you remember the class that we took at Juanita Meer for short rows and neat edges?
Yes.
That looks a lot like the one she called the golden rule. It's because of the edging. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
And I remember it's also something like slipping the first stitch or slipping
like
the last
that,
stitch type of thing.
Yeah.
So it makes a very nice edge. She said she likes that edge for beanies specifically.
Okay.
Very nice.
Well, it makes my life easier for picking
I
up
can
stitches.
see here that it must be much easier to pick those stitches up.
So I started doing this about 4 or 5 blocks into it. And the other day when I had to add here to these first blocks, I was like, why did I not stop? But you learn as you go.
In your defense, you didn't know that at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was a great tip. So
yes,
I'm giving you work now.
Now I'll think about it. Maybe it'll be a good idea to ask the designer if I can do it.
If you can just make one video with this one tip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe run the video past her or something if she likes. Or we'll see if that happens. I'll try.
We'll see.
Because that would have helped me a lot.
Yeah.
In the beginning. So yes.
Okay.
Now I've talked so much about one project.
It's okay. And then, do you have other whips before we get to Battenberg?
No. My leftover blanket is still in its basket.
Okay.
Feeling sorry for itself because I didn't make the magic knot before. I just threw the little leftovers in the basket and I didn't get to that yet.
Oh, you didn't tie them?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So, because that works very nicely. Making a big ball and then just working from there. But it's a very long-standing project, so.
Gonna keep us busy for a while.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so my Battenberg got in a month and 1 week 12 blocks. So last month I was not last month, the month
previous
before. I was bragging about my 100 and something blocks I made, and then I came crashed down.
No, at least you had a big head start. Imagine if you didn't have those 100 blocks.
Anyway. So, the golden stitch markers that's on there is the newly added blocks.
Just let it go down a little bit.
Okay.
There we go.
Can you see?
Yes, I think so. Now I'm trying to look through the blanket. Anyway, so alright, I think this is going to be so nice.
One day.
Oh.
So we are more than 6 months into this now, which makes me a little bit worried. Because we are a quarter way into the time frame we allocated to do this project. I am worried.
You know what? I'm worried. I was laughing the other night because I've got this big problem with my phone and the Instagram because this is now part of this make-along and I battle to keep up with the messages in the group because like 50 to 60% of the messages does not come in the app on my phone. If I open the Instagram app on my computer, I get lots more messages and I sometimes see comments of somebody commenting on something and I don't know what it's about because it's not in my Instagram on my phone. So I don't know why. And I have had this before that I asked people and lots of people said that they do see that on their own sometimes. But the other night I was checking it on my laptop and I saw that there's lots of people saying they think they need an extension. Battenberg 24-25.
Well, at this rate, I might join a 4-year-long make-along.
Oh my goodness.
But I'll catch up this week a little bit, I hope.
This is so stunning.
This is going to look very pretty, but I need to focus and put some real effort in.
Oh, I love the colors. It's so beautiful.
So, let's see if we can find some of yours. I have not added any of yours yet. No.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I recognize our socks.
Yes,
twinsy
our
socks.
twinsy socks. It's everywhere. Anyway.
I love this color as well, this yellow. I've been lately a little bit into yellow, and that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think this was actually day 1 of last year's scrappy box.
Okay,
Hmm.
could be, definitely.
Looking forward to this year. For October, or Scrappy's October. Excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, alright, I maybe did not focus now, but anyway, so this is the Battenberg by Sandra Paul, right?
Yes.
Did we say that?
No, sorry.
But this is at least the original Battenberg.
This is the original Battenberg that I'm doing with sock yarn. So all of them 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and a 3mm hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are doing the original.
I'm doing the original.
I'm doing
You
just
are-
what I want.
Yeah. You are
Going
going in
off-
your own direction.
Going off course.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Did you make some progress this month?
At least I did make some progress.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what I should show first. Blocks or the blanket. Maybe the blanket.
Let's do the blanket first. Yeah, it's getting big now.
I actually got so mad at myself because I changed my main color every 2 rows. And I worked this out in the beginning of the year. I made a little sketch in my book and I decided what colors I want to do and I put the main colors together. And every time I need to go to the next main color, I can't remember which one it is. And I need to go find the book and what. So I just got mad and I made myself like a little tracker. I don't know if it's really, that good, but anyway.
Oh, wow.
It's supposed to be a checklist. But then when I was finished, I just added 12 main colors and I don't know why I didn't add 14, but anyway. So I made a little tracker.
Okay, let's. I wonder.
I can
Just check
actually,
if you can see it properly. The light might be too bright.
yeah, I'll see if it does not show properly. I'll take a picture and put it on the screen.
Okay, let's.
So what I did is I started to just color in all of the main colors that I've already finished. And then what my next main colors will be, just 3. So that I can keep track of where I am going. But anyway.
Great plan.
So it's not the neatest and I've just written in extra main colors because I don't know why I stopped at 12.
Okay.
But it's in my bag, so now at least
You can just reference.
I
to
can
it.
reference that.
Yeah.
Because every time I need to change main color, I never remember. Where's the book? On what page is it?
Yeah.
I go and search for it, so I made a little tracker. So I'm doing knitted blocks. I'm doing a knitted version. And as I said, my main color change every 2 rows. I always get confused with rows and rounds. I don't know why. I know the difference,
Yeah.
but I just say the wrong
It
thing.
happens.
So, in the previous
Yes, something.
episode, I marked this one. So I was finished up to here.
Okay.
And I work my rows from that side to this side.
So you added
So
this
I
row
added
and
one
then
row
one.
and that one block.
Okay.
So
Yeah. This is amazing.
so yes, it's nice and big already.
Yeah.
So I think I actually wrote it on the tracker. Did I check now? I worked out because I remember my friend said something about, I think in percentages. So this blanket is 36% done,
Well done.
except for the border, the block part.
So you are on track. Well done.
Yes, I'm getting there. Very
You
slowly,
are,
but
you are on
yes.
track. That's it.
So,
Pretty man.
and I didn't, I'm still going to do more grey as a main colour and so forth, but I'm not repeating all of the main colours twice, but
Okay.
right. So this is how far this one is at the moment. And then my next main colour is now these little, the ones that is so nice.
You haven't used this one before.
No.
You used the light one as a main
Yes.
before.
Yes, the first
Okay.
main colour, this one.
Yes.
It's
okay.
its friend. That's the blue one.
Okay.
And so that's now my new main color. And then I am also using the light one because this is going to be my last main color of the completely last row that I'm going to do for
So
this blanket.
You felt like doing that one. And
Now there's a reason I'm going to explain quickly.
Okay.
So I've got more yarn of this left than needed for the main color. So I thought, okay, if I need, I can't go off the top of my head, maybe 15 blocks in this. I'm going to finish the 15 for the last main color And whatever is left, I'm going to bring down to the rest of the
Yes.
blanket to fill in as the contrast
Okay.
color. Because I would like to use all of this yarn because
Yeah,
this
it's
is very
nice.
nice yarn.
Yeah. Okay.
So after this main color is now finished, I'm going to use the rest of this also because there's also a little bit more of this.
Okay.
Not a lot, but this has got quite a lot more. So,
Oh well. What's done, it's
blocks.
done. My mom
Yes.
always said.
yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So yes,
it's really nice yarn that.
this one is so nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I looked on Ravelry. I can't really see if it's discontinued, but I can't see it in store anywhere. And I remember Newcayo had it. So I have a very big... I think it's definitely discontinued. I think it's discontinued.
Okay.
But I like working with it. It's very, very nice. I can't confirm that it's discontinued, but it looks to me because you can't find it anywhere in stock. So
Okay. It's good.
I couldn't find it anywhere. But yes. And this is now a nice size to work on because it can keep me warm in the craft room because
Until summer
goodness,
comes.
that place is cold.
Is it?
Yeah. But the nice thing is when summer comes, it can just lay on top of the table. So then I'll be fine. But yes, that is my Battenberg. Going strong. I was thinking to maybe do a short tutorial of how I crochet these together. You can tell me in the comments if that would be something that you can find useful, because I'm knitting the blocks and I'm crocheting them together on two sides with single crochets. So I mean, I did make a tutorial for this, for the blocks. So I'm thinking I should maybe do one for crocheting them together.
I think that's a very good idea.
Because, yeah, it can also be a little bit tricky.
Even if the viewers don't need it now, you never know in the future when they might need it.
Or when I might need it in 10 years' time. When I want to do this again, I'm like, how did I do that?
How did I do it? Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So is that all our webs?
I think that is everything that that's everything that I brought to show anyway.
Yeah.
But that's all scrappy projects that I'm doing currently. And then the other blanket, that's a long-term thing, the leftover blanket.
Yes. So. Okay. So do you have some pattern suggestions?
Yes, we do.
For this month?
We've got 3, and one of them is the reason why I started this dog jacket, because it was all over my Instagram feed and I could not stop looking at it.
Yeah.
So if you see the picture, you will immediately understand why Fluffy's jacket is looking like it's looking. Exactly.
With the stripes.
Yes, with the broad stripes. Anyway, so the first one is the Stripe Hype dress by Veronica Lindberg. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She's Katova Kika on YouTube and Instagram, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
It is a paid-for pattern, and I mean, it's a full-length dress.
But it's amazing.
It's gorgeous. So it is a double knit pattern, double knit yarn with a 4mm needles. I now just wanted to say hook. Anyway, so the pattern is quite new. It came out in June of 2023, and it has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh my God. 10 sizes.
Okay.
So yes, and she made a video on YouTube showing how she made this dress in 12 days.
Yeah,
In 12 days.
It's amazing.
I know it's a job, but I'm not sure if I can knit that fast.
No.
I mean, it's a 4mm. Maybe if it was a 6 or a 5 or something like the ranunculus. But I mean, even that took me 9 days when I just did that for the first one. But anyway, so this is the stripes that inspired the jacket. And that is all I'm saying.
No, but that is really
beautiful.
amazing. Yeah.
I love it. It's gorgeous. All right. What's next?
Do the tank top next.
Okay. So the next one is the Stripy Turtle Tank by Emily Curtis.
So we're all about the stripes here.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Everything this month is stripes because
Exactly.
everything everywhere you look is just stripes.
But
Everything is in stripes.
nothing
and
wrong with
it's
that. I love
beautiful. And the thing that I like about this is that you can also use what I would call planned stripes.
Yes.
So you can use a main color, one main color throughout, and do the stripes like this specific one. And then I can just imagine if you just do the trims, like just the ribbing and just the ribbing in one color and all of the rest in different stripes, it will be just as beautiful. It's also a paid for pattern on RAVELRY. It's a fingering weight yarn that's used in this design and a 3.25mm needle. And it's got 13 sizes. 1 to 13. So is that 14 sizes? No, it's 13 sizes. 13 sizes. Sorry, I just had to do some maths because...
Well, yes. I tend to sometimes get it wrong with time. So I get where you're coming from.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's gorgeous. And some of the pictures is also cropped. So you can do it as cropped as you like or as little cropped as you like.
Exactly.
So that's the second. Then the third one is a crochet one. It is the very stripy blanket wrap from Canoe MTM Designs. It's a worsted yarn weight with a 5mm hook. It's just one size, but you were just talking about the black. I will add this extra picture on the screen.
Is there a black one?
There is a black one. Look at that.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Oops.
No, I touched it before you could look. Sorry. I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
It just looks like the...
You have to show this picture.
I definitely will put it on the screen.
Yes, this is
those
the stained
LED window glass.
That's the stained glass effect. I love it.
I think it's gorgeous. I like it because the main color looks like it's framing the rest of the crochet. I love it.
Or if you can have like a ombre yarn.
Oh yes, that'll also be gorgeous. Yeah. Very pretty. So I'll put both pictures on the screen, the white and the black.
Thank you.
Yes. So
is that a free or a paid for pattern? Did you say?
I don't think I said yet. It is a paid for pattern.
Okay.
Let me see. And I see it's also part of an ebook, but you can buy it separately. I'm not sure which ebook. I didn't check that. But I will definitely put all of them into the Scrappy Project Inspiration bundle on RAVELRY that we usually link down below. And then you can check those 3 patterns out. And if you have any suggestions for any projects with leftover yarns and things, send them our way. Drop them in the comments down below and we can maybe share them next time.
Anita actually sent one the other day. Remind me to forward it.
Alright, so well at least we've got one for next month.
Yes,
so great
there's
stuff.
Something coming.
Very nice.
Cool.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's everything.
I think that's more or less everything that we have for the agenda today. I have now I thought I just got myself in a big tangle, but not really.
Are you sorted?
Yes. What I usually do when I bind off the little blocks, now I've got one stitch on the needle. So if I'm in a hurry, I just push it in here and then I'm like, what happened? In the meantime, it is just me putting it in where it actually shouldn't be. I think that is all that we have. I don't know if you have anything else that you might like to share.
No, that's it. So the next one, if everything goes according to plan, will be a live.
Yes.
And we have a guest.
Yes.
We're looking forward to it.
Our guest has graciously been very kind and understanding because we would have had her on last month. And with all of the things that happened, we said, please just give us a little bit of extension. We're going to do this in September. So in September, we're having a guest. And yes, it's going to be fun.
It is.
It's definitely
it's going to be a little bit, I think it's going to appeal to a wider audience as well. I don't want to say too much.
Yes, I hope so.
A little bit of variation in the craft. So
yes.
Excited.
So keep your eyes peeled. When we advertise this, then you will
You will
see.
understand why we are so excited. Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
I think that is it for now. Thank you so much for coming and watching and liking and supporting us. We really appreciate it a lot. And yeah, I don't want to say too much.
Yeah. Thanks for watching from my side as well. And we hope you have a wonderful month with lots of scrappy goodness to keep you busy. And yeah, thank you.
We will see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.